I'm back with another video, but this time I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally I suggest movies that are like something that you haven't heard, or maybe they're not well talked about. However though, this movie is a family classic. Everybody and their mom probably have seen this movie. So I think it'll be fun to sit here and talk about something that we're already familiar with. So without further ado, wait, run that back on Mrs. Doubtfire. If you don't know who I am and you've never seen any of my videos, hi, my name is LorenEleece, and we're a community of people who love amazing movies, but we have no one to watch it with. So I became your best friend on YouTube, and we sit here and have an in-depth review about the movie. And when I say in-depth, honey, I mean in-depth. We go down to the nitty-gritty. So here are the rules. Make sure you go watch the movie prior, and then afterwards, then come back to my page, and then you could watch this video. Because anything that I say after this is a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Wait, you still here? Child, I told you it's a spoiler alert, so if you watch anything after this, it is on you, okay? And I just want to let you know that spoiler alerts are like my favorite thing to do because they're so fun and stupid. If you see me look this way or you see my eyes dart this way, it's because my laptop is right here and this is where all my notes for the movie is. So let's just go ahead and get into this crazy movie. Y'all already know Mrs. Doubtfire. It's about an actor who is going through a divorce, and he dresses himself as a female because he's doing whatever he possibly can so that way he can see his children. Now what I didn't know is that this movie is actually based off of a book, which I'm actually really shocked because no one brings that up. But yeah, it's actually based off of a book. This movie is starring Sally Field, Robin Williams, Matthew Lawrence. I'm not gonna lie, when I used to watch this movie as a kid, I had a crush on Matthew Lawrence. I mean, he's fine now. Have y'all seen new pictures of him? Honey, yes. Now, supposedly he's dating Chili. I don't know if they're still together or not. I think they are, but child, yes! Oh, he's so scrumptious. Okay, anyways, moving on. Mara Wilson. She was so cute. Wasn't she? Like, in Matilda and in this movie, she was so cute. Lisa Jacob. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right now. Jacob? Y'all know I'm country. I don't even know how to say these people's last names. Hell, I don't even be knowing their real names. Like, in my mind, her name is Lydia. Like, if I ever saw her, she'd be Lydia. Just like Mara Wilson will be Matilda until she's dead. Like, that's Matilda. Like, I don't even know her government name. And lastly, that fine specimen of a man. Yes, I had a crush on him as a kid too. I like older men, don't judge me, I just do. Okay, but Pierce Brosnan, Woo! Jesus, yes, that is a fine specimen, okay? Hey Pierce, if you're watching this, how you doing? Y'all know I'm crazy. Let's just move on. Alright, let's get into this movie though. Let's get into it. In the beginning, Robin Williams is doing his voiceover. I mean, you really see him honing in his craft. Like, I mean, the best to do it. R.I.P. Robin. Dang. So we see Robin Williams is doing his voiceover for cartoons. He ends up quitting the cartoon he's working on because the Tweety Bird wannabe is over here smoking a cigarette, and he feels like it's immoral to be showing children about smoking cigarettes as Tweety Bird. But mind you, this movie came out in 1993, and once again, this is just a movie. This is not real life at all. It's not even based on a true story or nothing. However though, if this was the 21st century, first of all, they wouldn't even put no cartoons or anything out like that showing cigarettes and stuff. There would be a whole war against moms of America and this wannabe Tweety Bird. Number two is, I don't know if that bird was the main character, but typically what normally happens is, despite whoever developed and created and directed the show is not the one getting the flack, is normally the person who is the face of the show or face of the company, whatever, that gets in trouble. So Robin Williams, let me not say Robin Williams, Daniel Hillard, if he would have been the face of this bird and that was the face of the show, and he's going to red carpets and stuff for his show, then he would have been the one in trouble. Like, why would you agree to do this show and y'all smoking cigarettes? I'm just telling you about the 21st century versus what happened in 1993. But we already know it would have been different. However, back to Daniel quitting his job, I understood it, but when I got 3 kids at home that needs to get fed, I'm not quitting my job until I find another job. Period. The end. He goes and picks up his kids from school. Ooh, he had that ugly station wagon. Can we talk about this? Why was that such a popular car? Don't get me wrong, I get it had a lot of trunk space, it fit a big family, but that was an ugly car. To y'all's grandmas and parents that was driving that ill, I don't know what made them say, you know what, let's get a station wagon. And it seemed like it was really popular too during that time period. I mean, everybody had it, including Matilda. Now, I get that Lydia being 14 and Chris being 12, they could have possibly went to the same school, but how is it that they were going to the same school as the 5-year-old, yes, little Miss Natty, whatever her name was, Mara, 5 years old? How are they all going to the same school and still able to ride the school bus together? Is that how it was back then? I don't think so. I doubt it. I really doubt it changed that drastically. How is someone who is in kindergarten going to the same school as a preteen and a high schooler? That don't even make sense, but okay. Did y'all see that though? This ain't the regular like city bus. This is the school bus. So you're telling me that you could just go into the elementary school and get your little sister or whatever and then hop on their school buses and ride together? I think not. First of all, normally we don't even get out the school same time. And I've talked about this because I live in Los Angeles, but I'm from Houston, Texas, baby. In Houston, when you go to school, high schoolers go from 7:15 to 2:15, and then elementary kids and middle school, our school systems is completely different anyway, because it goes kindergarten to 4th grade, then it's middle school, which is 5th and 6th, then there's junior high school, which is 7th and 8th, and then high school is 9th to 12th grade. So the high schoolers will go to school from 7:15 to 2:15. Then elementary kids will go from 8 to 3. And what I'm thinking the school district is also thinking is that the high schoolers are old enough where they can get their younger siblings, not actually go to the school and pick them up, but they will be home first before the little kids come home, so that way there'll be someone at home with them in case the parents are at work. That's what I'm thinking, right? And so the middle school and junior high school kids will go to school, I guess it was 8:30 or 8:45, because I know we didn't get out of school till like 3:45, and they had them coming out the latest, obviously, but like I just said, they had them coming out at 3:45. So that's why I'm just really thinking like high school and elementary school is getting out the same exact time. Normally that's not the case, but what do I know? It looks like they were in San Francisco without them staying there in San Francisco, because who else got hills like that? And this is where the movie takes a turn, because when he picks up the kid, obviously it's Chris's birthday, and he's like, yo, let's do an impromptu party. I think not. You are the father and you are a husband. First of all, why would you exclude your wife from being at the birthday party with the kid? And obviously they explain this is because Chris ain't supposed to have no birthday party, number one, because the mama already said so. And what mama says is what it's supposed to go. Okay, period, the end. Or if not, at least as parents, y'all supposed to come together and be a united front. On the front line. Okay, that's what Beyonce said. Trifling Daniel gonna sit here, oh, well, the mom is not gonna be home for another 4 hours. a job, number one. Number two, are you a teenager? For you to be sitting here and plotting on when I come home or not? Sir! And this party is a wreck, okay? First of all, they have a petting zoo. Have y'all ever heard of a mobile petting zoo? I had never heard of that. Granted, yes, I do know that petting zoos or whatever, not even a petting zoo. I do know you can like have someone who handles exotic animals come to your home or to your parties or whatever and do that thing. I do know that. But to have a full-on petting zoo, pigs, goats, ducks, and stuff, what kind of people were having? Who was in charge of this mobile petting zoo? Because your animals is everywhere. Your animals is in the streets. Your animals are in the yard of the neighbors. Like, you supposed to be control these animals. If I ask you to come to my home and then you just have your animals running amok, all in our space, all in our town, all in our neighborhood, there's goats walking down the street. Now you're endangering people, because I guess this is in San Francisco. I'm rolling down the hill and I gotta stop because there's a goat in the street. Y'all didn't even try to set up a little cage or something in the backyard? If they have a backyard? I mean, what is going on? That's why the neighbor sat here and called up Miranda, whom is at work, doing her job, paying the bills. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love this movie as a kid, but watching this movie as an adult, honey, I'm triggered. I'm very triggered, okay? So Sally Field, i.e. Miranda, she's at work and she's having a business meeting. Somebody, I guess her boss, pulls her out and tells her like this guy named Stuart Dunmeyer wants to work with you. And she's like, oh, ooh, Stuart? Oh my gosh, yes, he's done so well for himself. Oh my God. Stuart. Shoot, I'll be like that too, knowing it was Pierce, honey. Yes. Fine, so. And then that's when that call comes in from the neighbors. Hey, there's an emergency going on. It's a muck being run over here, okay? Come home. So she rushes home. But I had to commend her. She still went and got a cake. Because if it was an emergency or if I was hearing something like this was going on in my home, I don't know if I would have stopped and picked up the cake first. I think I would have got that thing afterwards, because I need to see what's going on first, because my kids are possibly in danger. If you calling me at my job, making me rush home, I need to see about my kids first before sitting here trying to get a cake. But okay, good mom. Yeah, go Miranda. She gets home. There's horses all in the house. Excuse me? I got plants all in my home. I got good furniture, and My Little Pony is sitting here walking through with and they got horseshoes on, you know, some metal messing up my good wood floors. Or I got carpet. They could be peeing and shitting everywhere. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Ew to the nah, to the nah, nah, nah.
Kids of all ages, which was weird, because where the hell were their parents? You got your pre-K, kindergarten, first grade children up in my house, jumping on my couch like they ain't got no dadgum sets. They not even just, you know how kids just be running and running through the house and stuff? Like, that's one thing. These kids is jumping on my furniture, okay? And where are their parents? Ain't nobody tell them nothing. Did y'all see a parent? I didn't see not one. Not a man, not a woman, not a mother, not a father, not even a grandma or auntie was in that house, okay? And they jumping on my good furniture. And then I'm looking around, boom, what do I see? My husband? The man that I'm sleeping with? Is jumping on the tables? Doing yo with my son? Triggered. Triggered is the word for how I'm feeling. What? Like what? What? Child. Miranda's better than me because all hell would have broke loose at that moment. Actually, all hell did break loose because she started to scream, honey. He gonna have the nerve to sit here and say, "Oh, Miranda, you're home early." And let me tell you this, when they were over here cleaning the house, I just want to make it very, very clear to you that the only reason I'm cleaning this house is because I own this house and I pay the bills up in here. But if it was me, I ain't cleaning it. I ain't make this mess. Clean it all up and it better be spick and span like the way I saw it before I left this morning, honey. You better clean it. Clean it. The parents is over here arguing and she gets to a point of a level of frustration where she's like, I want a divorce! I'm sick of it! I don't want to be with you no more! And I get it. Miranda is tired, honey. She is tired of being the structured person around here. She is tired of the one maintaining responsibilities around here because this man wants to sit here and quit his job. I mean, he's an actor doing voiceovers. I'm not saying he's not good at his job, but I am saying is they tend to be wishy-washy with keeping one. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. Your job is gig oriented. So this month could be a good month. Next month could be a bad month. We don't know. Inconsistent is what it is. That's what it is. It's inconsistent. You know, it's cute being with someone who makes you laugh, lives lives to the fullest and all that, until responsibilities start coming in and taking control. Then they ain't cute no more. Especially when you're the woman and your man ain't being the man. And now you gotta play both mommy, daddy, / husband and the wife. And you supposed to be the wife. And you carry these kids. By nature, women are supposed to be more nurturing and the caregivers of children. So you're not even able to do that because your man want to be doing what he's doing, having parties behind your back without your permission. Hell, you didn't even give me a call saying this is what we're gonna do. Like, yeah, Miranda, divorce.
I'm trying to order the most expensive bottle of champagne because we finna celebrate.
Dre.
We gonna celebrate what? My divorce. How about that?
This movie is obviously from the man's perspective, and we're supposed to feel sorry for Daniel, even though I don't. Because I don't. So Daniel hides out at his brother's house, and he's depressed and completely in denial for what the situation is. He's not understanding where the frustration that Miranda has. He's just thinking like, oh, she's mad today. We're going to work it out. Maybe have to go a little couples therapy or whatever. And it's like, no, we're not. You're not understanding my frustrations with you. You're not understanding why we are at this place. Like, I'm sick of it. They go to court. And Miranda's awarded sole custody. But Daniel gets at least every Saturday, which is only once a week. And he's sad about this because he explains to the judge that he hasn't been away from these kids since they were born. So he wants more time with the kids. But the judge is like, look, you got 3 months to find a home that is a good enough living conditions for these children, and you know, also you need to find a stable, secure job, not a job where it's gig oriented, not a job that, you know, today you're working, tomorrow you're not working, or this week you're working, next week you're working. No, we want to see 3 months of consistent pay. Okay, the poor children, they're feeling all guilty because, especially the son, because he's like, oh, if we never had a birthday party, then this wouldn't have happened. But you know what? At the end of the day, it would have happened regardless. And I'm glad that Daniel said that to him because, yeah, this was something that it was like a pimple that was growing underneath the skin. Eventually, it was going to turn into a whitehead, and eventually, it has to be popped. Dr. Pimple Popper. The next scene, he meets with his court liaison, and she's telling him, like, you know, I'm going to be coming to your home every Monday and Friday to make sure, you know, your living situation is suitable. Now, I didn't know this. When you're going through a custody battle, the court is willing to help you find a job. Let me know down below in the comments if you've heard that before. I had never heard about this until watching this movie. Almost like a talent recruiter or something was helping him. Like, she was like asking, like, what is it that you do? What are your talents? What are your strengths? Whatever. And that's when Daniel went into his impressions, and I just thought, you know, dang, R.I.P. to Robin. I don't know what he was going through, but, you know, to see him doing his impressions like that, it was triggered my heart. I guess the court found him a job, which is super lucky because, once again, I had never heard of that. They did find him a job shipping out reels from this television station. So I'm like, wow, they found you a job even within the realm of type of work that you do. Like, wow. Can they find me a job? Just saying. Incoming, that fine specimen, like my sister would say, young man, young man, young man. Mr. Pierce Bronson, Mr. Stu Dunmire. Yes, he comes and he meets with Miranda. So Stu is actually, you know, once again, this is 1993, but Stu is creating what they would call B&Bs, which is no different than our version of Airbnbs. In case for the people, or shall I say children or young adults who come from my generation and younger, Airbnb or B&B stands for bed and breakfast. This is not nothing new. People have been doing this for a long, long time. In fact, the baby boomers are really who made it popular, because when their men went off to war, they had to figure out how they was going to bring in money, because they had been stay-at-home wives while their men was over, you know, in Vietnam and in Germany and Japan and all that. So they had to figure out a way to bring in some income. So what do? They rented out their homes to, you know, veterans that was coming back from war who were now disabled or whatever, lost everything, etc. So anyways, that was just a little history lesson for the kiddos. Stu is creating $500 a night B&Bs, and Miranda is an interior designer. He's very forward because we don't really know what their background is, but obviously they must have dated or were friends or something, very much something.
Yeah, I was trying to find something, very much something. Yeah, I was trying to find something to talk about.
Because the way he is sitting here flirting with Miranda and not being professional, I'm proud that Miranda was forthtelling about her upcoming divorce. Daniel secures an apartment. Looks like a nice apartment. I'm not gonna lie. I know for a fact that San Francisco is the most expensive city in the United States to live. And he was able to find an apartment pretty quick. Granted, he probably doesn't have bad credit, but I'm just like, where did you get the money from when you're not really working? That quick too. Probably some help from his family, brother. Let me tell you, that 14-year-old, Miss Lydia, she got a mouth on her. See, she's one of those kids where grandma would have did a little backhanded pop on that mouth, because she got a smart mouth, okay? And she's like telling her dad, like, you need to get it together. You want to see us more? You need to pull your weight around here. And I'm not saying she was wrong. What I'm saying is stay in your place, young lady. Stay in your place. See, y'all not ready for me to become a mama, because stay in the trunk of the street. Did y'all realize Robin Williams has such like gentle eyes? Even when like we were watching that scene of him in court, his eyes are just like that's what will make you feel that. Like he's like Puss in Boots with his eyes. Like,
No.
With the paws? Come on! With the heft? It's oh so cute!
we're watching them struggle with this new way of life / like their divorce, you know. But Miranda, as soon as she got that custody, I'm not even going to lie, she was being very inconsiderate to Daniel. Because he already gets the kids only 1 day a week, right? You drop off the kids an hour late. And then when you come to pick them up, you going to honk? See, that already wouldn't fly. She lucky she ain't dealing with my parents. Because with my parents, I never brought men to my parents' home to take me out on dates and stuff. But let you come outside my house and honk for me to come out. Oh, my parents would have had every little problem with it. Come over, you ring the doorbell or knock on the door like anybody else, okay? It's just disrespectful, you know. And I feel that. Let a man come and pick me up now and be honking at me. Like, let's go. If you don't get yourself out that car, at least stand at the car door to open or something. Like, what? So anyways, so she ends up coming upstairs and then she just gonna bust in the house. Like, oh, you ain't got no couth. Like, granted, I know this is your ex-husband. Y'all just broke up or whatever, but then you just gonna bust in my house? Like, you don't live here no more. We ain't together no more. You do not run this household over here. And you already dropped the kids off late, and now you're giving all these excuses of why you gotta pick up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And like, no. Put some respect on Daniel's name, Miss Thang. And then you're gonna pick up the kids an hour early. One of her excuses of what she had to do was that she had to drop an ad off into the paper because, you know, they ain't got Craigslist and Sitter City and all this other stuff.com. So she needs to look for a maid, not just a maid, but more like a nanny or a housekeeper or whatever. So not only can they watch the children, but also clean and cook in the house too. And did y'all hear that she was going to pay $300 a week? I did the math on that. And I'm not going to lie, that was actually pretty daggum good money. It don't seem like it when you say it up front like that, but considering that she was only using a housekeeper, nanny, whatever, for only from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., so that's only 4 hours a day, and then she's charging them $15 an hour, working Monday through Friday, $300 a week. I mean, I'm just saying, that's pretty simple. That's pretty good money for I'm saying this because this is 1993. $15 an hour? When they were probably accustomed to getting paid like, what, $10 an hour maybe? Not bad. Not bad. Now he's like, well, hold up. You getting this person, you're paying this person to do something that I can do as their father. Why don't you let me do it? She's like, I'll think about it. Excuse me? I am their father. If anything, especially the 5-year-old, the children are in better hands with him than to have a whole stranger in your home. And I can't really talk about it on YouTube like that, but you know, doing God knows what with children of that age. And even, hold up, teenagers are not off limits. They may be older, but they're not grown. So, you know, them two, yeah, I'm giving them right over to the daddy. So while she wasn't looking, Daniel went ahead and changed the number so that way whoever's calling for that job calls a whole different number. But then after that, he uses all his impressions and calls her 11 times to come off as these applicants that are just absolutely terrible, until finally he comes with Mrs. Doubtfire. So he goes to his brother and he's like, I need your help into making me a woman. So with the information that Daniel gives him, they come up with this old lady persona, and they're able to create a whole prosthetic face mask for him. I guess they just so happen to have the body parts to have, you know, thighs, boobs, and all this other stuff to give him as well. I mean, you know what? I say this, but then we act like this is not an actor, so I'm sure all these props are either he's accessible to it or he knows where to go. But nonetheless, he was able to do all of that. I love Harvey Fierstein's voice. Like, I love the raspiness of it. Harvey Fierstein played Uncle Frank. Mrs. Doubtfire has her interview, and she is very successful within that interview where she gets the job. But obviously, Daniel's able to use his personal information that he knows of the kids and stuff to woo them. And also Miranda too. You know, Lydia has some freakishly long hair. I had some long hair when she was running up the stairs, and you could just, like, the first couple of scenes you don't really see it as much, but that scene where she was running up the stairs, I was like, dang, that's some long hair. See, I'd just be throwing on a wig. I was also wondering this. Did Daniel not think that if he stopped tripping about seeing the kids, that would cause suspicion within Miranda? Because I was thinking that, like, now that you do get to see your kids, and then you don't say anything else after that, like, you don't keep asking to see them, you like, oh, okay, cool, you have them for a week, all right, fine, bye, you know, that it wouldn't cause some suspicion. I mean, all of a sudden you go from asking all the time to never. I just wonder if he thought of that. When Daniel heads home, or shall I say Mrs. Doubtfire, as soon as he gets into the door, the court liaison walks up, and Daniel says something to signify that he knows her, even though he's still dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire. She's like, who are you? So he has to now come up with this huge lie about Doubtfire being his sister, even though he's never had a sister, doesn't have a sister. I guess it's just him and Frank, but yeah, he doesn't have a sister. So they go upstairs, and now we see Daniel and Mrs. Doubtfire switching back and forth, trying to entertain the court liaison that's in his house, that's supposed to be checking out his environment, which is weird because you got all these female clothes. I mean, most female, no, let me not say that, because I was going to say most females are not that junky, but I've been to some real junky people's homes, so let me not say that. But I'm just saying, there's heels and pantyhoses and all this stuff everywhere, like, still not making it look suitable for children. And doing all of this, he ends up screwing up his face mask. And let me tell you, that scene where he puts the cake on his face, that court liaison was nasty, because there ain't no way in heck I am letting someone's face drippings land in my cup, and then 1, take it and put it on my face, and 2, taste it. Ew. Even though we all know it's cream or whatever, but she don't know that. Ew. Now we watch Daniel enjoy his 2 new jobs. So he's still working at the TV station, and he's also collecting a paycheck as Mrs. Doubtfire. And he's actually handling this transition very well. Like, he has his little restroom that he gets dressed in. He switches out. He's now Mrs. Doubtfire. He goes pick up the kids. I mean, everything's running smoothly. He doesn't even have, like, any conflicts with his job to get the kids. Like, he's able to go get them. So I don't know if this is Mrs. Doubtfire's first day or what, but Lydia, once again, that mouth. So she didn't want to do what Mrs. Doubtfire is telling her to do, which is to do chores, turn off the TV, do that homework. No TV before the homework is done. And she's like, nope, I'm not, and you're not gonna make me. So he gets their asses in check. You know, kids act differently when parents are around. See, like, parents sometimes think, oh, little Johnny is sweet, quiet, and behave. That's only with her. You haven't seen little Johnny when Johnny is with people he don't know, and little Johnny may be a whole mess, okay? Trying me. I used to work with kids, and let me tell you, sometimes kids' behaviors outside of parents are something else. Daniel apparently also can't cook. I don't know what he has been eating all this other time. I guess he must have been a fast food guy or let's go out to eat kind of guy, because he doesn't know how to cook. So he ends up ordering food. Assuming that was the first night, Mrs. Doubtfire ends up doing very well. The kids are active. Daniel learns how to cook. He's cleaning, which is only benefiting Daniel in the end, because it's causing Daniel to be a good father. But awkwardly and inappropriately, it makes him also have to watch Miranda trying to get her groove back, which is weird. So after a while, you know, Miranda and Stuart has been going pretty steady. She decides this is my chance to introduce him to the kids. Stu comes and meets the family. So Doubtfire comes in, and of course Miranda's speaking about her cleaning lady / nanny to the highest regard to her man. So he comes over like, hey, so you're the Mrs. Doubtfire. And what we learned is Stu is from London. So he hears Doubtfire's fake English accent. He's like, it's a little muddled there, but you know, what part are you from? And that was also the start of Doubtfire, you know, insulting this man. Like, I don't know, I just felt like obviously this is supposed to be just a fun, silly movie, but you know, he should have really have controlled his emotions a little bit better. Granted, it's not amazing to see, you know, your ex-wife, your fresh new ex-wife sitting here playing family with another man, but at the same time, like, you was getting close to blowing your cover there, buddy. I mean, what normal woman does? Well, no, you know what, we say this, but we all have that big mama, that grandma that's a no-nonsense grandma that may not be so friendly to people. I know my mom told me that her mom was not nice to my father at first. Now she's the sweetest can be, but at first, oh no. So maybe it wasn't as alarming as it could have been, but still, he was taking a big risk by sitting here insulting this man when you're supposed to be in character. You're breaking character, honey. Get back on it. Miranda comes over and she's over here like trying to talk to Mrs. Doubtfire for a little bit of advice and stuff, and he's still responding like a jealous ex-husband. He's telling her to chill out. He's telling her to wait to bring another man, which I'm not gonna lie, it could be true. I mean, they are still just going through a custody battle. Things are not even official yet, and you already getting your groove on with the next man. Then you got this man over here in your house and meeting your children. And on top of that, your children are sitting on his lap. Excuse me? No. I know you've been out the game, Miranda. I know you've been out, but these people do not have your children's best interests at heart. It's a little too soon to be sitting here having your children, especially your 5-year-old daughter, sitting on any man's lap. I don't care how long you've known him, whether it's from the past to now. I don't care. That is not the father of your children, and even then, sometimes you gotta be a little weary of them too. I said what I said.
I said what I said.
Moving along, Chris walks in on Doubtfire using the restroom, and he is traumatized by what he sees. Like, he's like, oh my god, who has all the pieces down there. So he goes and tells his sister. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in this scene I was a little bit shocked to how Chris responded. Yes, this is 1993, so maybe it's not all in your face, but you do have the children do have a gay uncle who has a partner whom they call Aunt Jackie. So I was a little shocked by his reaction. Now, granted, this is his father pretending to be a woman, but before he knew it was his father, he still had a reaction that was shocking to me, because it was like, even if Doubtfire was a transgender, I don't know what you know what? I say all this as if it would be normal, or like, oh, okay, it's a man. You know what? I take back everything I said, because you know what? I don't know how I would react if I find out my nanny, who I thought was a female, is actually a man. I don't know what I'll find out. And then to top it off, that's when they find out that it's their father? My daddy? You know what? That makes me think of the Kardashians, and like, how weird was that to catch your father on your laptop dressing as a woman, i.e. Caitlyn. You know what? I'm not even going to act like I understand it. I'm going to just let that one go. Let it go, child. Let it go. I mean, how are you as a child supposed to respond to your father pretending or possibly wanting to be a woman. That's outside of my jurisdiction. Now back at Daniel's job. Nope, not Mrs. Doubtfire, but Daniel. Told you I gotta differentiate the two. So Daniel walks in and he sees this boring wannabe Mr. Rogers playing and describing dinosaurs. And he criticizes the man to this other guy. But unfortunately what he didn't know was this guy is Mr. Jonathan Lundy. So he is the head of the network. He just better be thankful he didn't lose his job in that moment talking too dadgum much. I mean, know your players. Know who's around you before you just start talking. You know? You need this job more than they need you, boo-boo. Miranda comes home early because she apparently had an appointment with the court liaison. And I just gotta say, is it appropriate that the court liaison is telling all of Daniel's business to Miranda, someone he's trying to divorce from, someone? I just didn't feel like it was appropriate for the court liaison to be telling Miranda all the things that she did, because let it have been Daniel was dating a woman, then you're now telling his business to, as a mother and probably ex-wife, do I want to know? Absolutely, I want to know. But was it in a professional place for the court liaison to tell her that? What do you guys think? Put it down below in the comments. With the court liaison who tells her about Daniel's pretend sister, Doubtfire, without saying her name. And that scares Daniel because it comes off as Miranda may be suspicious of him. So he tries to throw her off his scent. So Miranda, at some point within the conversation, she starts describing her relationship with Daniel. Like he was romantic and he was passionate, great energy, spontaneous. But then he was never stable in jobs, causing her to work all the time. And when she would try to put in time with the children, something always prevented her from getting that extra time. Whether it be the house wasn't clean, whether it be, there was this emergency over here that she had to take care of. And she didn't like that. She didn't like that she had to be strict. She didn't like that she had to be serious. She didn't like that she was miserable and was considered the evil parent. Because someone had to do it. Someone has to be the bad guy. Most time in marriages with children in the household, the father is the one who's the more structured human being. But it's now a role reversal that the person that, is the nurturer is not being able to be in her feminine energy. Then on top of that, he was hard to have serious conversations with. And this is what I was telling y'all in the beginning. It's cute at first. You get someone who makes you just laugh at all these crazy things. But then, now business got to be handled. Things got to be done. And I can't even have a conversation with you about it because you want to be goofy and stuff all the time. Like, no. But it all works out in the end because now Miranda's more easygoing. And she's getting closer to the children. I mean, it's a transition, of course. It's different now because now she's trying to channel her more feminine energy and feminine role. Other than cleaning up behind a grown man, nothing really has changed. But she is trying to do better. Stu invites the family and Doubtfire to come to some place that has a pool to have a pool day. And Daniel is watching his family play family with Stu. And it hurts him. But the good thing was we hear Stu talk about Miranda and the children and his intentions, and it's all good. It's good to hear. The only bad thing is he was speaking disgustingly of Daniel, and he heard it because he's Doubtfire and throws a lime at his head. Called Daniel a loser. I'm not gonna lie, Daniel was acting like a loser. So back at the office, Jonathan Lundy sees Daniel playing with the dinosaurs, and he's giving them characters, making them rap and sing and all this other stuff, and just making it fun and enjoyable to watch him. So because of that, he gives Daniel a business meeting. It's a Saturday night now, and Daniel has the children. And once again, all the great things that he is doing as Doubtfire, he's able to implement it to him being a father and also into his household so that way he can have his children more. But it backfires in his face because now he's ready to ask Miranda for, you know, the children as Daniel, but she has so much trust and love with Doubtfire that she's like, no, can't get rid of her. She's amazing for us. The grades are going up with the kids. You know, they're doing this, they're doing that, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, and then Miranda's over here like just bragging about all her new life too and the amazing things that's going on with them. Like, see, great things happen once I got rid of you. Little does she know. It's Miranda's birthday and they're over here trying to pick out a dress. See, once again, Doubtfire needs to control her jealous energy, jealous husband tendencies, because he's over here trying to pick out a dress that she wore to a freaking funeral, you know, trying to sabotage her relationship with Stu. Now, unfortunately, the night that they're supposed to go and celebrate Miranda's birthday is the same night that he has a business deal with Mr. Lundy. So they get to the restaurant. And when they get to the restaurant, he's literally trying to be two people at the same time. So he's going back and forth. Between him getting drunk with Lundy and him trying to sabotage Miranda and Stu, he wasn't able to do two things at once. To Stu, Doubtfire is telling him Miranda has crabs. You know, uses a jackhammer dildo and all this other stuff. Like, what? Why? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then he's changing clothes, which, by the way, he is wrinkling the hell of professional clothes. Now you're going to see, you know, the head of the network looking raggedy and sweaty and all this other stuff running back and forth. Then he gets drunk with Lundy. But then when he goes and gets changed, he's throwing on perfume to cover up the fact that he smells like scotch. Going over to Miranda and her dude. You know, teeth falling all out in the Chardonnay and stuff. Why? Just being crazy. Then it was very unprofessional in this one part where he goes over to his boss and he's like telling him like, oh, the reason why I have on lipstick and smell like perfume is because I saw my ex-girlfriend. She's a waitress and we were doing a little... Like, what is that? Why would you tell your boss that you are secretly, you know, hooking up with a waitress in the back? I mean, granted, Lundy was, you know, a little freak himself and wanted one for his own pleasure. But still, like, why would you do that? Then lastly, Daniel chooses to, yet again, being jealous, sabotage Stu and Miranda, and he puts cayenne pepper on Stu's food that he's allergic to. And he's so busy feeling like, yeah, I did that. That he ends up over there with Mr. Lundy dressed as Doubtfire. So now he has to present Doubtfire as if this was part of his plan the whole time. Meanwhile, Stu's over here choking, about to die on everybody. And Doubtfire comes and starts running hurdles over to help the person he tried to kill. This is attempted murder. I'm just going to say this, that Daniel better been lucky that Stu didn't try to sue him for trying to kill him. Like, I don't care if you saved my life, as you should. I shouldn't have been almost about to die. But, you know, you're going to sit here and try to do the Heimlich remover. But, I mean, like, honestly, like, this wouldn't have happened if you hadn't tried to sabotage me. Literally, you're going to try to kill me? You're going to try to kill me. And apparently, if you're doing the Heimlich, then everything, your mask, your wig, your teeth, everything is going to come off. So now, boom, he's busted. Miranda's reaction was rightfully so. His daughter's reaction was rightfully so. Because it's, I mean, like, I'm traumatized. Like, this is a man that I once loved. This is a man that I was married to for 14 years. And you went so far to not only have... I mean, I do want to know what happened to Lundy. I mean, what did he think when he sees not only Daniel, I'm putting quotation marks where I'm not supposed to put them, Doubtfire, which he knows is actually Daniel, doing hurdles to get to this man and then finding out, or I mean, like, all that whole scene. What did Lundy think about that? Because they never addressed him again. I mean, poor Stu, my man Pierce. I mean, he's probably just thinking like, dang, like, I'm over here dating this broad and she got a whack job for her ex-husband. Like, do I really want to put myself in line to be in this This family unit? Huh. And now we're in court. Daniel gives this emotional testimony of insanity for his love for his children, which is exactly what it was. Absolutely insanity. And it's like, nah, dog, like, you are a creep. You're a pervert. Innocent or not, because you want to see the children or not, you went to extreme lengths. And this is also when we learn that it had only been 2 months. Shame on Miranda that she was doing all this in 2 months' time, but also shame on him that he kept this up for so long. You went to the extreme to do this. And now you think you should have the kids? I feel the judge awarded him very correctly. Psychological testing and treatment, yup. Supervised visits, yup. Speech coming from a gifted actor, yup. Unorthodox lifestyle, absolutely. Children shouldn't be around peculiar and harmful lifestyle, yup. Yup. All of that in a bag of chips. Once again, this is just a movie, you guys. But I'm just saying, he did not deserve to have those children. Not after that. You'll be even lucky to see these children again. I don't care if you did all that because you wasn't seeing the children again. No. You don't need to be. I mean, think about it. What type of role model are you setting for the children? When we talk about this later on, yeah, it was so crazy. Your father, dressed as a woman, pretended to be you guys a housekeeper, nanny, just so that way he could have you because we were having a divorce. Like, at what point is that normal? Your kids are now traumatized. I wouldn't even trust anybody after that. Like, are you really a man? Are you really a woman? Are you really who you say you are? It has nothing to do about being transgendered at all. What it has to do is the fact that I just had a grown man that I was married to pretending to be somebody else. And I had this person in my home and never once did I even think that this was my ex-husband. I would have trust issues. Like, this is actually mentally insane. He would have to go to a mental facility for me to be okay with the hell he just did to not just me. And I'm over here telling you my personal business, my dating real life. You almost killed my man. My man. This movie is insane. It's truly insane. It kind of makes you wonder about the writers of this movie, because this is a lot. It also makes you think about Big Mama's house too, because one in the same. Miranda starts looking for a new nanny, and everybody that she meets, they're absolutely horrible. Hell, I don't even know how she was looking, why she was looking, because I wouldn't even believe it's who they are. If you even slightly have the same eyes as my ex-husband, nope, you gotta go. And now the children are depressed, not only because of their father, because they have developed a relationship with this fake person and established an attachment with this person. Like, how do you walk a 5-year-old through that? How do you walk a child through that? A teenager through that? At some point, the teenagers did learn that it was their father, so they had a little bit more time to kind of cope with everything. But a 5-year-old, how do you navigate that conversation? You get what I'm saying? As if it's not even further a slap in the face. You see your ex-husband playing the same character on TV. Yay! What you used to torment me with is now on TV for everyone to love. Later on, Miranda shows up to the network. And this is where it kills me. After everything that you have done, Daniel gonna come out and try to make Miranda feel bad for everything. Like, oh, I was just doing it for the kids. So I come to you with a white flag and try to work this out with you, and you gonna try to make me feel bad for actions that you did that we already know was questionable, to say lightly? Way to have accountability there, buddy. Clearly, Miranda is a bigger person than me, because she still tells him like the children miss him and they're so sad without him. So she gives in. So the next time we see Miranda, she's telling the kids like, hey, you guys, come on, stand in line. You know, the new babysitter's here. I want you to meet. And it's Daniel. So there's no more supervised visits. He's going to be able to pick them up from school every single day after school and stay with him for a couple hours. I mean, this movie is Daniel's perspective, and technically he wins in this. But let me tell you, no.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
What, that ending wouldn't happen over here. I have now, because I gotta now put my kids through therapy for everything that you done did, sitting here pretending to be a woman in our face, not my face, in our face. Now I probably ain't got no man because of you. It wouldn't be a happy ending over here. So Doubtfire's speech at the end of the show really showed that she got closure, growth, and just became a better parent / father, which is the least you could have done amongst everything that you've done. That's the least you could have done, is to show that you have matured throughout these past 2 to 3 months, or however much longer it's been now that you've been on supervised visits and all that. But that's the least you could have done, and I'm glad that you're also able to let go of our relationship. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. But obviously that speech wasn't really meant for Miranda. It was meant for the kids who are struggling with their own divorced homes and splitting up and all that stuff. But anyways, that is the end, you guys. This movie was toxic. And I also want to add in there, the kids are honestly old enough to be home alone. Now, would you have some food on the table? The house going to be clean other than forcing them to do their chores? No. But that 14 and 12-year-old was old enough to not only watch their little sister, but also to be home alone. And let me tell you something. Daniel is lucky that he had a Miranda that not only forgave him, empathized with him, but also allowed him to be the person he's been for the past 14 years, and also the crap that he was doing while they were getting a divorce. He is lucky, because I would have had his ass locked the hell up. So after this very toxic movie, tell me what you guys thought about this video. I think I'm going to just start adding in those kind of movies, so that way it's movies that we're familiar with, but it's a different perspective of how we've always seen the movies. Because, you know, most of the time we watch these movies as kids, so we weren't able to really process what was truly going on. But, you know, now we have a whole different perspective, and I want to get down to the nitty-gritty of those movies as well. So let me know what you think. If you have any other classic movies that you want to talk about, let me know down below. I think these movies are really fun to talk about with you guys, and I love doing it with you. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'm going to see you guys next time with, wait, run that back? Bye.